Dear learners, this is Dr. Sedhupathy, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. In this video, we are going to learn about functions without argument and with return value in C programming language. So here is the agenda for our presentation. So introduction about functions and types or categories of functions in C, definition and purpose of user-defined functions, syntax for the topic chosen and example program, and explanation about the example, and when to use function without argument and with return value, and advantages of using this category. Here is the basic idea about how functions and what it is. A function is a self-contained block of code that performs a specific task. It can accept inputs or argument and produce output as return values. Why use functions? Basically, using functions is reusability, organization and clarity, easier to debug and maintain when you categorize or simplifies a more complex function into small segment of programs. And there are types of function. Basically, it depends on user input and how outputs. Function with argument and return value, functions with arguments but no return value, functions without argument but with return value. We actually look forward in this specific topic in this video. Functions without argument and return value. Here is what are functions. The functions do not take any input parameters and no arguments. They perform internal task and return a value to the calling functions. Purpose. When no input is needed from the calling function, but the result of a function operation needs to be returned, you can go for this category. Syntax for the category is return type and function name. Actually, we choose there is no argument, but function should return a value. So we must specify the return type of the function with the return type keyword. Return type, function name, and within the curly braces there is a code to perform the task and return statement and the value to return to the calling function. The value may be sometimes given as expression like a plus b a into b or any other valid C expression. Here is an example. Here there is a function int get number, which means the get number function is the return type int. Here inside the main function int number equal to get number, which means the get number function returns a value and the returned value will be assigned to the variable number. That is, the variable number and the get number function both are of integer type. Also, this line is called function call. After function call, the printf statement displays the output, the value of the number. And coming to the right side section, which is the function definition section, int get number, simply we are giving return 42. Instead of the value 42, you can also give any valid C expressions like x plus y, x into y, x minus y, and so on. The explanation what we discussed or what we look in the previous example. Function declaration is nothing but int get number, function definition, function call, and output statement. Here is the use case, which means when you can use this type of function. When the function generates or retrieves data internally like system time, random numbers, and so on. When the function performs calculations independent of external output, which means without considering any any input from the calling function, the function generates an output, you can go for this step. And the function needs to return the status of an operation, you can go for this step. And here is advantages. When you can use and while using this category, what are advantages you can get? It simplifies the function design when external input is not required, and it increases the code modularity by separating complex tasks into small tasks, allows users or the developer to reuse of the same logic without input parameters but returning necessary expected output. And here is the conclusion of this topic. Function without argument but with return value are useful when logic is self-contained but returns a value. They play an important role in making code cleaner and more modular reusability. So key points which can take away from this discussion for you all is use these functions when no input is needed but you are expecting some result from the calling function. Thank you, my dear learners, for your patient listening.